Today goes to Formal Fampy. Hey Rick, I was thinking about your superfan segment. It made me think of the way some people treat cannabis like it's this all healing drug that can do no wrong. And I smoke plenty of weed, but I'm willing to notice that it certainly harms my motivation and doesn't help my sleep schedule. I just wish that more people would be open to the possibility that weed isn't always good. Not to say it's certainly less dangerous or even more beneficial than other drugs like alcohol or nicotine, but it has its flaws. Well, that is true. I think weed is much less harmful than alcohol and nicotine, definitely. And many people will swear by its health benefits. Okay. But drugs, like anything, weed affects different people differently. You could give the same amount of weed to somebody, and they could have different effects, positive, negative, than someone else. I know it has, for people with glaucoma, it's very helpful. But maybe if a person has different, medical conditions, the weed might counteract with maybe some medications they're taking. So the same thing affects people differently. Same thing with alcohol. Some people can handle a lot more alcohol. Some people a little bit of alcohol, and it completely just wrecks them. That's just a way you are. So before you take anything, whether it's alcohol, whether it's weed or whatever, definitely pay attention to how you respond to it. I'm not like Dr. Rick. But I'll share with you a funny story. I don't do it a lot, but some of the times I have, it doesn't take a lot to really affect me. For instance, I was doing some with a friend and we were house sitting. And the thing about weed is it makes me really, really hungry, gives me the munchies. So I was house sitting for someone, and crazy idea because, I didn't want to do it in their house, but, he just, brought some out and I was like, oh, okay, it's the weekend, why not? So I didn't have a whole lot of it. I didn't have a lot of weed, but I remember just getting the munchies like crazy. So he watched as I went through that refrigerator, with no self-control, and I took the ranch dip and I went through the whole thing of dip in like a half an hour, and I found whatever chips I could, in the cupboard or whatever. And I didn't even realize that I was, because they said, if you get hungry, you can have like, a little bit of food or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. But like I went through that, and I think there was some anything that was bagged, like, onion rings, like Cheetos, stuff. I just like tore through all of it. So here I am, like, just kind of covered in cheese dust, and I was like an animal too. Like I had bits of chips all over my shirt, and there was ranch on the couch. I just was like a monster. I was a monster. Never eaten like that before. And then I came down from it. I came off the high, and I was looking around like, what have I done? What have I done? So yeah, it affects people differently. So that's why I kind of try to stay away from it, at least if I'm house sitting. So what I did was I had to go to the grocery store and replace, I felt bad, so I replaced everything that I ate. But like anything, you say everyone just says it has all these, it's an all healing drug and can do no wrong. Like, nah, just it affects different people certain ways. But I also feel that it should be legalized because it's far less dangerous than something like alcohol, and nicotine. It's crazy. It's crazy to me that, it's easier to get something like a gun than it is to get weed. That just shows all our priorities are screwed up. You can get an assault rifle before you can get weed. That's insane to me. As far as like, all things being equal, but yeah. Formal Fampy, I'm assuming you don't do weed? Come back and tell us if you have, or you do. I don't know if you made it clear in the comment, but that's an interesting point of conversation. Weed, alcohol, and nicotine. Leave it in the comment section down below. I know I'm going to get a lot of replies. Leave it in the comment section down below your interesting tangos with something like weed. Maybe you have some funny stories you want to share, and I might find them very entertaining. Thank you.